Hello fantasy managers, and welcome back to another video from myself, Will, and fantasyfootballhub.co.uk. In this video we're going to be looking over all things blank game week 31, as well as touching on chip strategy around blank and double game week 34, as well as big double game week 37. If you're new around here and you're into FPL and interested in the upcoming blanks and double game weeks, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Okay, so these are the confirmed fixtures for blank game week 31, and as you can see, it is a big blank game week. The matches that are playing are Liverpool versus Crystal Palace, Wolves versus Bournemouth, Burnley versus Watford, and Tottenham versus West Ham. Okay, so this is Fantasy Football Hub fixture ticker until the end of the season. So we're going to come to chip strategy in a little bit, but if you do decide to play your free hit in game week 31 rather than trying to navigate it with transfers, then I think you potentially look at some of the Spurs assets because they do have a fairly favourable fixture against that West Ham side. From Wolves, I really like the look of Doherty at the back and also Jimenez and Jota up front. I think those are probably the three prime picks. Obviously, you've got some good budget defensive options, the likes of Bolly and Sass, as well as, potentially Traore if he can cover from his shoulder injury. Burnley, I think there's some really decent options at the back. Pope, a really good keeper option, as well as the likes of Charlie Taylor and also Barnsley. Obviously, you're going to try and have three Liverpool players with the likes of Salah and Mane being the prime picks, and I think there's merit in all of their defensive assets. Watford, I think, Sa is probably the prime pick. I do also really like Deeney if you're looking for a more budget-friendly forward option. I think that he could be a good shout. Bournemouth, I'm not massively excited, but you could look at the likes of Callum Wilson. West Ham, Antonio is probably the main pick there. If you wanted a budget midfielder, then you could also potentially look at Snodgrass. Okay, so now I'm going to try and outline the two main chip strategies. Obviously, this depends on what chips you have left, so I can't cover all eventualities, but I'll try and cover most of them. Okay, so this is chip strategy 1 that I'll call it. I guess this is the main strategy for you if you're watching this leading up to game week 31 and you haven't planned for it at all. You've only got a handful of players that play in blank game week 31 and you have your free hit chip, then it's going to make a lot of sense to play that free hit chip now. Then it's about using your transfers for what we think is going to be a small blank and double game week in 34. According to Ben Crellin on Twitter, and I do agree with him, he thinks that between 0 and 4 teams will get a double game week in game week 34. So potentially you could navigate it with free transfers. The thing I would say about that is that, if we do get, say, 3 teams that have a double in game week 34, but that's potentially, 9 players you could get out which have an extra fixture. So that using your free hit chip in game week 34 could be very powerful. But again, it is difficult to tell exactly what teams those will be and exactly what that will look like. Everton are quite likely to get one. Other ones that could get them are Chelsea, Aston Villa, Sheffield United, Man United and Norwich. That gives you a little bit of a flavour of teams that could get a double in game week 34. I would stress this isn't likely to be a massive double game week and you could potentially navigate it with some free transfers. The other thing that, of course, I've mentioned in other videos, but I think is worth reiterating is that double game week 34 and double game week 37 are likely to involve completely different teams. So the teams that are going to have a double in game week 34 are not likely to have a double in game week 37. So ideally you want either your free hit chip or your wildcard chip, either one of those, to be able to flip between game week 34 and game week 37. If game week 34 isn't a massive double game week, then you can potentially navigate it using transfers, but it is just worth bearing that in mind. So with this strategy, you would free hit in blank game week 31, transfers for game week 34, wildcard in 36 and 37 to set up for a big bench boost in 37, which is likely to be a big double game week. It is also worth mentioning that there could be a smaller double game week potentially involving Aston Villa and Sheffield United. We don't really know that, but that could be held in game week 33, game week 35 or game week 36. So it's worth noting that there could be a smaller double game week as well around that. Okay, so this is chip strategy 2, and I'm taking a variation of this chip strategy. I'm using my transfers to make sure that I have as many players as possible for blank game week 31. I actually played my wildcard last game week, so I'm going to be able to get a full 11 out for game week 31. So after blank game week 31, I would then use my transfers to set myself up for double game week 37 because I've already used my wildcard, and I'll play my free hit in game week 34. If you have your wildcard though, you can use your wildcard in 35 or 36 to set up for that big double game week in 37 and hit that bench boost. If you do have your triple captain chip and you also have your bench boost and your free hit chip and your wild card, you might be thinking, you know, when am I going to find time to play my triple captain chip? Actually wait for that smaller double game week. That could happen in 33, 35 or 36, but we don't really know that yet. Or you could just go for a single game week player. Now I think that Salah or Mane look prime picks against Aston Villa in game week 33. It's quite close in the poll down below there. You'll see that 40% of people playing their free hit in game week 34, which is when I'm going to be playing it. A lot of other people playing it in game week 31. Some of you already played it. I expect that those others might be playing it in double game week 37. If you'd like to try out any of our member resources, you can do so completely free. Just go to fantasyfootballhub.co.uk/free trial. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button and turn those notifications on. Bye for now.